Welcome guys. Let's see if everything is working. I think so. I can still hear the music. Let me know if it's still audible and not too loud, so we can get the stream started. Alright, so good afternoon. Today it's the 12th of March. This camera is set up a bit bright, I know, but that's because if I make it smaller you cannot see all details, so hence I decided to make it brighter. I think all the setup is done. I improved the microphone audio quality when I'm at a test corner. I will talk about it later. And I think I will do at least 4 repairs, or even more, because I'm talking about 4 repairs for 4 people, and one of them sent me 2 boards to work on. So let's do that. If you're at home, like me, I'm at home because I work at home. But if you're at home because of some virus or something, and you can't work at your office, then I hope you don't feel too bad. You feel good. I hope you're not sick. We're actually here in Eindhoven are coping with some of the problems caused by the situation that started in China. Let's not call it by name, because otherwise this video will get demonetized. I really like to do this because one of the good things is that people can click on commercials and I get some kickback for that, and I like that. So anyway, you're allowed to use super chats, by the way. Those are activated as well if you want to. No obligation. And I like just to make these videos because I like to share my repair experiences with you guys. So let's just get started. Hey Lewis, hey Old Gamers Unite. I'm not sure who you are. You might be Hans, because I know you are watching the stream as well. Hey Brian, good afternoon. Please again let me know if the music is not too loud. Alright, let's switch to the one and only workdesk cam, the 4K Brio cam, which is working at this moment in only HD, because the cable I'm using only allows HD to go through it and not any higher. So let's open up this machine. Alright, so this customer user, I don't like to call people customers, you know that. I like to call them users because I'm as enthusiastic as you are. So I'm happy that you buy my stuff, but I don't see you as a customer. I see you as an enthusiast and user. Anyway, let's get back. This user bought a DevMC Enjoy interface and couldn't get it working because was probably the Z80 CPU has a defective M1 line. I think it happens in what would it be, 10 to 20% of the machines that have such a defect. Right, also the original membrane is in here, and there's a label on here, so it's once sold or repaired by Elra, which is a Dutch company, I think from Rotterdam. I've been at one of their shops in the past when I was very young, long time ago. But anyway, I will ask Hans if he wants to have a new membrane. And you can see already it's almost falling apart, so please say yes. It's not expensive. Alright, so let's get this board going, and we'll do the normal refurbishment, and we'll also fix the Z80 CPU, of course. Sorry. Alright, let's put the case away carefully because I don't want any scratch on that. It's still in good shape. Please do. Okay, Hans, that's you. Can you set up the 4 camera in order for manual focus? Yes, I can. I did set it on manual focus already. Let me check. So I'm using the Logitech utility for that, which is quite annoying, but it works. Oh, it's not manual focus. It's on manual focus now. I wanted to do that, but I forgot. I think this is a bit better. What do you think? Let me know, Lewis. Okay, we'll take a look at your mod. It's a cool mod, but it's not soldered, so I will fix that. No problem, Hans. All right. Should I call you Hans or Hans? Hans is international, but Hans is just as we call each other in Holland, of course. Anyway, And we got my big screwdriver, which everyone says always it's too big for these kinds of purposes, but I use it for detaching the screw on the voltage regulator, of course. I could use a smaller one, but I'm just so used to doing that way. So, right. Oh, this mat is new, by the way, because if you use heat on these A3 work mats, then they go bulge and you can throw them away after that. So I did last week again. So this is a new one. It's good for the video, I think. Right. Hans in Dutch. Okay, Hans. I will just say Dutch. Yeah, sorry. Okay, the camera is focused on the board now. I think it's quite sharp. I hope so. All right. We'll do a test after we fixed the composite video output. Last week, by the way, I bought a light bulb, an LED light bulb for this light here, which is currently turned off, switched up. I can switch it on, of course. So this one here. It's an LED bulb, but it has some downsides. For one, you can see a light area here, which shouldn't happen, so you must buy another one. And also, this is one of those modern filament lamps or bulbs, which look cool and which give quite a cool color and which don't consume too much power. But for some reason they go flicker from time to time, and I hate that. I found one source for them in China for the bulbs we use in our living room and other rooms, but it was very hard to find the ones that do not flicker, and I don't like that. I'm not sure if it's on purpose, but I don't like that they flicker. So I will buy another one which will not have that problem. And also I thought sorry, I thought that I needed an LED bulb because the old-fashioned bulb didn't, it's too short, didn't give some whirl on picture, but it turned out it was just camera setting. So I should just have put the camera in PAL mode, so 50 frames per second, and then the flicker was gone anyway. So, but I will get another LED bulb. Sorry. If I'm coughing, it's not because of some virus, it's because of hay fever, which is starting up very soon. For me, the birch is the tree that I'm most allergic for, so that's the hardest time for me in the year, but I'll live. Alright, let's get a wire. So I'm just prepping the machine so we can do the test, and we will fix the shoes and refurbish it after that. Alright, let's get a nice wire, nice long wire. Let's tin it a bit. This is lead free, and we're not using lead free for these kinds of purposes. We're using leaded. Right. Let's see, I have to put down my soldering iron a bit when it comes to temperature because it's quite high. I can't open the windows today because it's very windy outside still. It has been bad weather here in Holland for 2 months, 3 months or something. I forgot how long. But it's still not very good, so it's very windy for a couple of days now, and everything will be blown away when I open one of the windows. So let's not do that. Let's work on this here. It's raining again, so if you hear noises outside, it's because of the bad weather. Alright. And a nice new, not too long wire going to composite video. Yeah, I must use lead free for all my new devices, but to be honest, I'm not using it for everything yet. It's because most what I do by hand is I use leaded solder for, but for stuff I do in a pick and place machine, it's completely LED free at the moment, so a couple of interfaces. Alright, so that's done. Let's get to the other side, and then I can show off my new settings. Which I just added the microphone to the settings of OBS from the camera at the other side. So if we go over there, the camera will be activated. Sorry, the microphone will be activated. Camera as well, of course. And also I put some noise filter on that microphone, and also a noise gate, so it will be activated only when there's at least some volume. The reason for that is that the camera, the microphone of the camera is a lot worse than the camera and the microphone and the Brio camera. So let's get over there, and yeah, it should be activated. You can hear me from 2 microphones at the moment. I already wonder what you think of the audio quality. So when I get over here, the quality will change a bit. It should not be too loud, but right. Let me know how the audio quality is now, because there's a noise filter, you know, so it's not perfect. Oh man, I really should change this plug here. It's becoming worse. I showed you last time, but it works. Okay. I see some other problems. I see some color. Oh, it works. I saw some color problems a second ago. So let's check if everything is okay with that. There's an LM1889 chip in there, so that's okay. Okay, those are nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the machine boots, but as I just told, most probably the M1 line is not working. The edge connector seems quite clean, so I'm just going to put the die card on it. And we can see on the die card, I'm not sure if it's noticeable, maybe if I put it this way for a second, you can see if the M1 line is not doing anything here. I think it's not lighting up. I think it's off, then the M1 line is dead. No, it's lighting up, so it's not acting. You can see it do nothing, and that's not good. It should do something. So we can see on the LED that the M1 line is actually not working, and we can I'll show you what happens when you have a working M1 line. It should be different. I'm not using this that often because it's not quite often that I have a board with the defective M1 line, but oh yeah, I think it's dirty. Right, now you can see it's flickering. So you can see the M1 line is active in this CPU. So it's clearly a non-working M1 line, and we will check it with a different C interface just to make sure, but it's indeed a defect. And that's what the die card is so useful for. You can see it easily with the LED blinking or not. So if it's not blinking, then it's dead. If it's blinking, then it's okay. So nothing from the exhaust, it's not activating the I/O on the different C interface. So we know for sure that this camera, that this board has a defective M1 line. I was thinking of the camera because I want to know what you think of the microphone quality. We can't see the flickering. Okay, that's that's something else then. All right, how was the audio quality on that side? I'm curious what you think of it. All right, so we have to get it out. And I think that's the first thing we're going to do, because we want to make sure that everything else is working before doing anything else. So let's just check it. All right. I'm waiting for the desolder station to heat up, but in the meantime we will start by hand until my thumb is getting to ache, and we'll switch to the machine. And unfortunately on most 48K ZX Spectrums the ZE CPU is not socketed. Nice. Yeah, okay, this side is better audio. That's because of the quality of the microphone and the Brio, but it should be a lot better than the previous live stream. when I sit in the test corner, because the volume was a lot lower because I was only using one microphone. So it should be improved. It's not perfect, but I will get some better microphones in the future. But for now, this is what we have. Yes, Lewis, I will tell you which part those are. I think Steve already put all the details on his website. $40 is quite a lot for your thumb. It's a real exercise for your thumb. I must request for a massage tonight for my thumb. Right, looks good. Let me check if everything is clean. I think most is. Okay, I think we can lift it carefully. And I know everyone will complain the way I do it, but I'm very careful with lifting chips like this. I'm not pushing it on the board at all. I'm just lifting the chip using the momentum from something else like this chip here. And checking carefully if none of the pads is pulled with the legs of the pins, but this one seems perfectly fine. Don't push on the board if you're lifting a chip like this. Just use the momentum of the board and the tool you're using. Right, nice job. Clean up the holes a bit so we can put in a socket. Right. Hey, we got from Peter. 4010. Let me check. Right. Okay. Socket in. someone put in another ROM, it seems, because the socket has been swapped somewhere in its life as well, but it's still an original ROM, so I don't know why. Might be some. Oh, of course, might be the repair from the guys in from Elrouter again. Just a second. Need to clean up the mess here a bit. This, I'm using a new roll of leaded solder, and it's a very thin one, so I think a ½ millimeter. It's really a pain to adhere enough this way, but anyway. We'll get there. It's really thin. It's just because they didn't have anything else in stock when I ordered it. Hope next time they have the 0.8 millimeter that they usually use. This is way thinner. Feels a lot thinner. So. Right. So that's that. Let me do some cleaning before continuing with other work. Just gonna make sure there's no solid blobs in between the pads here. I need to refill that small can because it's almost empty. So this way it looks almost new, as if it's from the factory. I like that. This looks good. Let's clean up the edge connector as well at the same time. I think Hans already did that, so it shouldn't be too much work. It shouldn't be that dirty. It's really clean, so that's not an issue. Alright. Okay. Let's get a new NMOS CPU. So we're using NMOS types instead of CMOS because those are the original ones. And let's use one of these here. And then we'll go to the offset again and see if it works. So I say it will work. I'm not doubting. Right, so it's the worst quality microphone, but and it will boot with the 6-los, as you can see. So all okay there? Yeah, so that problem is fixed. We can do the refurbishment. Let's just do that because we can finish Hans' computer then. I will put the case aside for a moment. I want to return the dead CPU to Hans for his collection. Might think it's cool, I don't know. I save a lot of parts, but only ZX Spectrum specific parts, not CPUs, but I will keep this one. Oh, I will keep this one for him. I'm getting to switch cameras again, sorry. So you will get the dead CPU back. I won't do anything with it, just return it for you. Okay, so let's do the rest of the refurbishment here. First, let's put in a Traco power regulator. I'm going to drink some cola. This is nothing I do, and not something that I do often, but I have a real big bottle of Pepsi here. I'm thirsty. And when I'm coping with hay fever, my energy level lowers a bit. So I like to get some more sugar and keep it going. Oh, you can see what I'm doing here, but I'll always get the 7805s out this way. Bit of a wobble. And it's out. Oh, sorry for that. Come on. Right. Because the desk is so clean, or the Neo mat is so clean, it's hard to get any dust on it or something. Right. Huge ground planes are always a pain on ZX Spectrum boards, but we will get it open. Right. So the good thing is actually that the Traco Power one has two edges on both sides, so it's not completely flat on the board, which make it a bit more simple when you have some solder on those contacts. So it's not too big of a problem, too much of a problem if you didn't clean the contacts completely. It's done. Let me see if the DC socket is clean. No, it's really corroded. It's almost, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's really black. It should be silver. Ah, you can see it here in the camera. Okay, so we'll swap that as well. This will make it more easy to put in a power supply without having the risk of getting a reset or power down when you're playing a game or programming or something, you know. It would be a shame. So that's one of the things with the refurbishment service I always check. It's not on the checklist, by the way, but maybe I should put it on, but anyway, it's not on the list yet. Okay, let's put a new one in. So these are all standard types. Why am I dropping so many things today? It must be the sugar. Come on. So I was just talking about the stuff going on here in Eindhoven. One of the things is that the school for my daughter is closed. Maybe not completely. I think only 2 classes or something like that are still in there, because people got ill and other things. My daughter is at home for a couple of days now, and other things are happening. I have some meetings throughout the week, but they're cancelled at this moment. Some other meetings I attend by stream, so I can watch some meetings by stream, which is cool. Yeah, and lots of people in the province where we live in are ill here, so we have to see what happens. There were some talks about closing down complete province, which would be really insane if you think of it. Unfortunately, they did not decide for that, and I don't think they would be able to do that, because people need to get out, you know, for groceries and other stuff. Alright, let's get the capacitors out. Let's solder them from the back first. So I know some people that are sick already. I hope they will get better soon. It's really a very odd situation going on everywhere. Not only here, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get these capacitors out. And we also need to remove the ULA socket. One of the next things. So the reset capacitor. And two more here. So this is an, I thought it should 4, am I right? Yeah, 4B. Let's see it from the capacitors. And you guys already know that I'm using capacitor maps, so I just get out all the old capacitors and put in the new ones. When you have the maps, you don't need to know what's in currently, just use the map for that. And those maps are found on ByteDelight.com, so if you Google for capacitor maps, ByteDelight, then you will find them. No charge. So I'm going to continue more repairs tomorrow, but one thing I need to do in between is work a bit on the new repair wiki. So I'm installing one. I want to test out how well it works, and also if I can add accounts so people can either upload more information to the wiki or moderate the uploads, which is one of the things I think is important. I discussed it on Facebook, and people really thought it is one of the important things. So moderation will be something, and we'll discuss it further on Facebook, but I have to know if this wiki type that my hosting provider offers, if it's a good one or not. So I have to check that, and after that I will either set up the rights for people or just get another one if it's not suitable. Wow, it's odd, Peter. Really odd. So about half of the people infected by this virus live in our province here in Holland. So it's odd to hear that Georgia doesn't know anyone. Really strange, but anyway, it can happen. Right? Looks so clean still. We've got one here. I have some paint on my hands, by the way. Should have cleaned it off. It's ZX Spectrum related paint, if you are wondering what it is from. Right, so that's done. Let's get the capacitors here. Why aren't those holes open? I think I forgot to clean at least one of them, so let me see if we can do it an easy way. Let's up the temperature a bit. That's it. Okay, now for a 1 micro farad, which should be in there, and one more for the reset capacitor. Then 4B is another 1 microfarad, which will go in here. And this one is a 22, aimed to the left. And then just one 4.7 and one more 22, which I forgot, right next to the ULA chip. And then all run. Okay. I will do some real sponsor ads very soon, but I have to make a video for that. So you may have seen the video from the boards that arrived a couple of days ago, and GLC PCB is now my sponsor, so I will feature them in at least in production videos, but also maybe in live feeds like this one, because it's possible. Why not? Alright, that looks quite good. Right, so the ULA type is the correct one. It's a type 7 for issue 4 and later. So we will first put a heatsink on that, and then with super glue, and then we'll get the socket out. But before doing that, we should obviously check if it's completely working. So let's get back to the other side and do that. Hold one behind the top left corner. Oh yeah, of course. There. Right, let's get to the other side. So I always want to make sure that the tape input is working, and speaker and other stuff. Speaker is working. Yeah, speaker is working, tape input is working, so that's okay. Okay, so that's no problem. Then let's just do a keyboard test to make sure the ULA is completely fine. If I can get it on, yeah. Keyboard. Alright. Okay, that's totally fine. So we can say that this is a working ULA chip. Sorry. Yeah, super glue. But not only super glue. Of course, we'll use a thermal paste between the heatsink and the chip. But I use super glue to attach the heatsink actually. That's more than enough. I think it's too much even, so I have to get a bit off because I know that it will be pushed through the sides of the chip, and I don't like that. Alright. Let's push it down with the way too big screwdriver. Okay. And let's get some super glue on it. I think I need to order new super glue because this one is getting too thick. I use the generic ones. These are offered, for example, by Reichelt, but they're the well-known types that I think everyone uses nowadays. And so these fit the 48K ULA chips perfectly, but they are too small for the 128K ULAs. But that's not an issue. I still use them for 128 ULA chips as well, and that's because it only has to cool down the die and not the rest of the chip, you know. Right, so the super glue is drying, so that's okay. Let's get out the socket. So I could sell the ULA heatsinks, but the problem always is that if I have to sell those heatsinks, then the price will be about twice of the price that you can get them elsewhere. So if you want to combine them with orders that could be cheaper for you, of course, but because of that and other stuff, I need to ask a lot more than other shops do. Oh, it looks brutal in a good sense then, Hans, or no? The heatsink looks quite good, yeah, on these boards. But that's not a problem. So I'm not removing all the solder by hand this time. I'm going to use the machine for that, which is heat up already, so that's good. Right. You shouldn't need any force, just wibble a bit and get the solder completely detached from the legs of the socket. Don't heat it too long, because then the pads will come loose off the board and you will have a lot of damage that you have to repair. And these solder stations are quite cheap nowadays. I think 80 or 90 euros, something like that. Especially if you order them from AliExpress. It's really ridiculously cheap nowadays. But they need some care if you use them a lot. So, like new filters, and I make the filters myself, by the way. I bought a sheet of felt, white felt, which lets air through good enough. So I cut the filters myself nowadays. It's the cheapest. Not too much work, so why not? Yeah, there's heat restriction, height restriction, but mainly when you do not want to get the socket off the board. So some people leave the socket in and just put a heatsink on the chip. But if you do that, the board will actually not fit anymore in a rubber case, and it will just fit in a plus case, but with very limited air flow capability, if you can call it that. Air cycling, I don't know. So you really should get the socket off the board. And I've discussed it a lot with ByteDelight, for example. So we checked for alternative methods of cooling down the ULA chip, but this is really the only way of cooling down the ULA chip good enough to extend life and also make it fit in a rubber key case still, or in a plus case with enough airflow. I think I got 3 stuck holes, so I have to tin them again. That's one. So I nowadays really find it important that the holes are clean, emptied good enough, because I really don't like getting more work by damaging tracks or pads. So it's really worth time to check carefully if the holes are really clean and redo them if they're not. It's not too difficult to check, by the way. You can just pick something like this and see if every leg is really loose, and it's not, so you can still see a couple that need more attention, otherwise we will damage the board for sure. And I've done it a lot in the past, damaging tracks. I don't like it at all, and it gets me really frustrated when it happens. So if you don't want it to happen, then make sure it doesn't happen. So I'm checking if all the legs are loose. There's one that I didn't empty yet. I wish there was a simpler way of doing this. Nowadays, when everything is SMD, it's easier in kind of a sense, because you can just use a hot air station and pull the chip from the board when it's hot enough. Almost done. Another one still stuck. It's hard to see, but you really have to check it. Because the socket is flat to the board, you cannot see any light coming through, so you have to check it by wobbling it a bit with something. And again, it's better to do that than repair the damaged tracks or pads afterwards. Okay, 2 more and then we're done. Alright, I think this will work. So again, I'm using some momentum, very carefully. Double checking what I'm doing in the meantime. Right, it's good. Yes, okay, that was a good one. And you can see, maybe I can show you a bit closer. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's really some solder on the top of the board, which what was making it hard to get this awful socket off the board. Right, what's this here? I don't know. Okay, that's totally clean. So we can put the ULA chip back in with its new top cover heatsink. Now it looks brutal indeed. I had to accept that, Lewis, because you used a curse word. YouTube is kind of strict, you know, in every sense, but I think it's a good thing, at least for kids. Right? Nice. You might try, but I guess YouTube is international, so they will detect it. Right. It looks good. Let's clean up. I can understand some Portuguese, you know. I don't. It's not my problem. Do what you want. Let's clean it this way because there are there's some solar or flux remainders on the RAM chips as well, because two of those seem to be replaced somewhere in time. And I see the tier 4 transistor has been replaced, so I guess this board once had some dead lower RAM chips, killing the power circuit as well. And that has been repaired years ago, I guess. But I'm not sure. Could be more recent, I don't know. Okay. Right, so far so good. So we're going to do another test, of course, in a second. It's too bad that these chips are not the same as the other ones, but okay, it's not a big deal. The replacement low RAM chip from SCC is about from the same era as the other ones, but this one is an NEC type, which is totally different, of course. I need some sugar. Alright. Okay, let's see. I'm forgetting something. We did the composite video, we did that one. Oh, there's a GI ROM in here, so that won't be a problem, but if it would be an NEC type, we have to do some more modifications. So let's do a test. I'll run this first. Oh, my cable here. Cable is really bad. Oh. Now we're going to do a full diagnostic run. And let's get out a booklet for Hans. So, how is this Z spectrum identified? Hans, issue for the machine. Because keyword was included on the machine. We finished refurbishing, it's the 12th? Yes. 12th March. Do we need to perform any repairs? Yep. Yep. And one was add, swapped the Z80 CPU. Right? Modified composite video, yes. Clean the edge connector, we did. Install the new membrane, we're going to do that later. replace the regulator, we did that. Added a heatsink, yeah. Make sure all rubber feet are present. We're going to check that later. And also I want to put on a label on the ULA chip, so people will know what chip is underneath the heatsink. There are very many Portuguese Sinclair fans, I know that, but because the language is kind of a barrier, I know that people like Ricardo Saraiva, how you call it, handles the Portuguese market. And also, I think people in Portugal are more into the FPGA clones compared to people using original ZX Spectrums, or of course the timing models. It's true. Alright, so we did this already, but I'm just going to continue my storybook. If you haven't seen it, this is what I include with all the refurbishments. We replaced all the capacitors. We double check if everything is in there. Yes. We did not have to do a ROM fix, but we have to test the divider interface still. And I forgot to put back the original power heatsink. Not because it's needed, but just because it looks better. So let's do that. And maybe people are going to hate me for what I'm going to do now, but this is the only way of keeping it in original shape. But you can see it doesn't fit at this moment, so we have to cut it just a bit. And I have a good cutter for that. And now we can put it back. And I always put the screw in from the back, because otherwise the screw might stick out too much. Because there's no 7805 distance added anymore. Oh. Right, so this is just for aesthetics, because some people seem to like seeing the original heatsink. I think it's good. It's no problem. Right, I'm going to make some new labels in the future, so that I can put on here. But because at this moment I use the refurbishment booklet, it's kind of a double work. So at this moment I will leave it like this, but in the future I might add a label. Please tell me what you think of adding a label to the heatsink here. I wonder what you think of it. Some people already do it, so I wonder. Let's get back to the test corner to finish testing. So the die card has been run completely. We'll put it away. So next is run a particular ULA type. We did the test I did on Machine Joy. Where is it? It's here. We already did, but let's do it again. That works. Then we're going to test the divider interface because it has a different way of branching in and out of the ROM chip. Hence I do test it as well. And divider is still cool. There's some benefits compared to the different C interfaces. For example, you can run hardware, or you can run EasyXDOS. Hardware has long filing support, but it's not read-only file system or operating system. And also, divider interface supports the video playback or wave file playback, but you need a 128K ZX Spectrum for that. This divider interface works as well. So we're going to just do another quick test of the safe input, because we swapped over, we put up put in the ULA chip on board. You want to make sure it still works. If that works, I'm going to leave it on for a bit so we can check if the ULA chip is not becoming too hot, but it shouldn't be any problem. This is done. Let's do test the keyboard once more, because we put in the ULA chip on the board, so I want to make sure that works. Alright, everything is okay. Keyboard, relay temperature, we'll do that later, and the refurbishment label will be on the case. Let's just keep it on for a while and we will check that later. Won't be a problem. Shall we just, okay, we're in Holland, so do a Holland demo for a second. Oh. Okay, sorry, we got something. It can be bigger. In just a second, guys. That was bigger. Alright. Let's keep it on. I'll just use a kind of like this one here. I'll show you. This is Knipex, an original branded Knipex, and these can do anything. You can cut off your finger if you want to. Don't do that. All right. Next. So Hans' machine is done. I will leave put his box. So his box is over here already. Of course, we also have the keyboard from his machine, and that's an easy one. But I want to do a clean downstairs. But I will get the hinges off now. So this is an original issue 2 keyboard system, which I prefer above the glued ones, because this is more easy to swap a membrane with. So I really prefer this one, and the faceplate still is looking good, so there's no reason of replacing the faceplate. You put some paint on it, but it's still good enough for to keep it in original shape, you know. There's no reason of putting on a new faceplate for this. And a new one might look better, but it's not original anymore, so it's, if you can keep it original, then I think it's better. So this is one, and you can see the mat is quite dirty, so we have to give it a clean downstairs. It's a bit yellowed, not too much, so we'll do that later. We'll not do that live. But so this is the original membrane. You can see all the tears here. It's almost gone. If I pull a bit, I don't think I have to use too much force. Okay, I have to use much force. Okay, you can see here what happens. You see, I'm not even pulling that hard, really. So this is what happens after 35 years of original membranes. And the same maybe on this side. Let me check. This side is a bit more tough, but you can see there's also already some tears there as well. So if I put a bit harder, then this has happened. What happens? It won't happen to a new one. All right, so we'll give it a clean later on. So that's one. Let's clean up the desk a bit so we can get the next one. Tabs are cool here. Tabs, hinges, tabs, whatever you want to call it. I think I have less than 15 minutes because I can smell my wife getting dinner ready. These are all from Hans' machine, so we'll put them in a bag for now. Right, and yeah, let's use the vacuum cleaner once again. So this is a bagless vacuum cleaner, which is quite useful for soldering things like capacitors. Quite loud, I know. to a new desk. Spinach for us here. And I had chicken for lunch. I need some meat. So I also need some iron. What is it? So not iron. You know what I'm talking about. So that hence spinach. Next machine. Okay, what do we have here? We have here the machine from Oliver. Oh, sorry, Olivier, I think. Oh no, this is. Where did I leave this machine in? Oh, there. Sorry. This one here. And just a second. I'm kind of puzzled because I see here another case, and it's also a hinge case, a tab case, but I think I just swapped two cases because this was the one from Hans. So sorry, Hans, I made a mistake. This is the one from Olivier. This is yours because I can see it by the label here. Sorry, almost made a mistake here. So I'll put it aside and I will give it a clean. And I was already wondering because this one isn't as yellowed, and I already had seen the one from Hans has some yellowed keys. So this one is from Olivier, and it just needs a refurb, but we already done that. So I wondered why I put it back in the box and on the shelf here. Just wanted to check if this one is already finished. I have no idea where I put it back. So that's what I wanted to check. Let me see if I already made a split for it. No. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the machine from Hans. Put it away for now. So we'll finish the case later. And today. Ship it tomorrow hopefully. And I will work on the one from Olivier then, but I want to make sure it's working. That's the most important for now. Right. So let's get to the other side again. No, that wasn't dinner. I just had some chicken. No, there wasn't one dinner. This lunch. So, okay, let's do a test with this machine. I think it's already done, but I don't know where I put it aside. So it's completely working, so that's not the issue. All right, so. Okay, so I think I had some problems with this lower RAM replacement, but that was solved back then already, so it's really stupid that I put it away. Let's do a test. Everything seems to be working, so let me get a booklet. Sorry, I'm in front of the camera, I know. Olivier's issue for a machine. Right, so that seems to be running completely well. Do we need to do any repairs? I don't know. I have to check the stream for that, but I think not. The video I put is modified to composite video. The edge connector will be able to clean now. Okay. So throughout the last month, we did a lot of improvements in our process and way of working. I also had several setbacks, as you may have heard. But anyway, at this moment we have most things in control, back in control. So it's mostly getting stuff processed and repaired and everything. Clean the edge connector, installed the membrane, we'll do that later. Replaced the regulator, we did that. We added the heatsink to the ByteDelight chip, but there's no label on it. Or add a label. Okay, bon appetit. Hans, make her something nice. Hope you have a good dinner. I will be in contact with you, I think tomorrow morning. Alright. Okay. So, make sure our rubber feet, we'll do that later. Replace all electrolytic capacitors. That's done. Perform the ROM fix. That's only needed because there's another ROM in here. Improved composite video for 120K models. Run full diagnostic, we did that. Check for ULA type. Tested a definitely enjoy. Looks just fine. Yeah. Tested a ByteDelight interface. So works fine. Yeah. That's the tape loading. Also works fine. I can hear the speaker as well. Right. That's the keyboard. Okay. Let's check the ULA temperature. We'll leave it on for a bit, and we will put on the refurbishment label also later on. So and remember we fixed the low RAM module. And write it down. Alright, we'll leave it on for a couple of minutes and then we can get to the next one. But as I said, I need to get dinner first and I will continue after that because I have more stuff to repair tonight. Oh, that's my call. So I wanted to do our test with the order, but we have to get to dinner first. This is working just fine. Okay. So let's leave it on for a while. I'm having dinner, and I will be back after that. So in about 35 minutes, I think. So if you want to join me, then you're welcome, and I will see you in half an hour to an hour. We'll see. So thank you for watching this stream, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.